Wow. That is really awesome. All right. Nice. I always wonder what the audience is thinking when I first come on stage. That was really nice. I always pretend I'm in the audience. I'm like, oh, he's really tall. How tall would you say he is? And is he Jewish or Italian? He looks Jewish, but God, he's so tall. His hair is perfect. I'm sorry, that's what I was thinking. What can I tell you? I don't have a great nose, but God smiled on my head, and I thank him for it. We all have them, some nights where you don't want to go out. Guys, we don't want to go out. We're sitting at home, it's tired, rainy, and then you walk by a mirror on the way to the bathroom, like, oh, I can't stay in tonight. It wouldn't be fair to keep this to myself. It would be selfish were I to stay indoors all night. I'm taking my head for a walk. I am a Jewish guy. We weren't raised incredibly religious. My mother taught us everything we knew about being Jewish. And a lot of the stuff turns out it wasn't even, she would say things were against our religion, and it turns out they were just bad for the carpet. Because I scoured the Old Testament looking for something about thou shalt not finger paint, but there was nothing about that. And Moses wandered the desert for 40 years because he played wiffle ball in the living room. We got a bad holiday, though. We got Hanukkah, which was sort of our answer to Christmas. We were getting killed by Christmas in the gift-giving winter holiday department. So I think the guys down at Jewish headquarters, the boys in marketing were like, we have got to do something. We're getting killed by Christmas. So they went to the rabbis, the research and development people, and they said, gentlemen, is there any holiday in December that we could turn into a gift-giving holiday? And the rabbis, scratched their beards, and they said, well, there's Hanukkah. And they were like, Hanukkah? How do you spell that? They're like, fucked if I know. And there's Hanukkah. A lot of times that's in December. Sometimes it's in June, but most of the times it's in December, and you could turn that into a gift-giving holiday. Well, what is Hanukkah? What is the basis of Hanukkah? They said, well, basically, some oil that was only supposed to last for 2 days lasted for 8 days. Oh, that's a holiday. How is that? Even that back then, I guess oil and the Arabs were a big problem. So we're like, let's celebrate because we got over on the Arabs by making that oil last. I don't know how that... Pretty much, if you think of that in modern day terms, that's the equivalent of starting a holiday because you drove around your car on empty for 10 miles. Remember that time we were on E for 10 miles? Yeah, December 10th. Every year we celebrate it. And then came Hanukkah. That's where Hanukkah. And they were like, well, man, we got to beat out Christmas. There's 1 day of Christmas. I think that's how we can do it. We'll do 8 days. How are they going to top 8 days of Christmas? And that's how we'll beat them. And then the Christmas people, they were very competitive. They were, oh, really? 8 days of Hanukkah? Fuck you. 12 days of Christmas. Including a horrible Christmas carol to go along with the 12 days of Christmas, in which some guy gives a woman birds every day for like 9 out of the 12 days. 6 geese a laying, really? That's a nice gift? It's fine now, but when those geese start a hatching, it's going to be hell to pay. 12 days. That's no Jewish woman who's getting all those birds. She'd send them right back. You better come with 5 more gold rings before you give me another bird. Christmas is a good holiday. You can't beat it with Santa and the wreath and the tree, the toys. It's hard to beat as Hanukkah. I mean, you got the songs. We have one song, Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel. You can't carol with Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel. You're not going to get very far on that. An Ode to a Spinning Top, that's our big Hanukkah carol. Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Right there, that's a lie. No Jewish mother would ever allow clay in the house. Bad for the carpet. Oh my gosh, Hanukkah. But the Christmas carols are fantastic. You get jingle bells, jingle all the way. Absolutely, if you're gonna jingle, jingle all the way. Don't half-ass it. A lot of people, they dabble in the jingling. They jingle half the way. You jingle all the way. And you make some memories. Because let me tell you something. Riding a one-horse open sleigh, what fun. What fun. One horse. Don't go with the two horses. It goes too fast. You get nauseous. One-horse open sleigh. And go with the open sleigh. Treat yourself. Go with the convertible. It's Christmas and you deserve it. People used to Christmas carol in my neighborhood. They would come to my house, even though we were clearly Jewish. Clearly, because we were the only house in the neighborhood that didn't have a giant Santa on the lawn, a blow-up Santa. We didn't have that. We had a giant Neil Diamond on our lawn. And he would sing Love on the Rocks every half hour on the half hour. And old Jewish women would come from miles around to pay tribute to him and his hairy chest. Oh. My favorite one that they would sing to at our house, they would come by and they would, "We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas," which is very nice, and we don't celebrate Christmas, but they also wished us a Happy New Year, so I appreciated that. But then, at the end, if you remember, they get really greedy. They're like, "Now bring us some figgy pudding, now bring us some figgy pudding, now bring us some figgy pudding." I'm like, "Figgy pudding? What figgy pudding? We won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some." I'm like, guys, you gotta call ahead for figgy pudding, okay? It's a pretty obscure dessert. What do you think, I got figgy pudding on the boil 24 hours a day? No figgy pudding. Got some figgy Newtons. Will they suffice? Fig Newtons. Let me tell you a little story. When I was a kid, you could only get figs in your Newtons. And I'm proud of them because they've turned the Newton industry on its ass. I am so proud of them because you could only get figs, which is I give them credit for that. That's a pretty bold move to dedicate your entire product line to the fig of all fruits. I've never seen a fig outside of a Newton in my life. A fig could walk down those steps right now and I'd be dumbfounded. Who are you? Oh, you're a fig. Okay, easy, fig. I didn't recognize you without your cookie covering, but I know who you are now. You're more than welcome. I don't discriminate against any dried fruit, whether it be apricot or prune. I don't care. You come, you sit, there's beer in the fridge. The fig. But then some guy, the head of the Newton business, I think he must have taken over and wanted to, change things around a little bit, take over from the old guy, the old guard, and he called everybody together in a similar hall to this, probably called everybody together. You better be there, too. If you don't show up, don't bother coming into work on Monday. This guy got up there and he said, "From now on, from this day forward, anything we can grind up and shove inside a Newton, let's do it!" And some guy in the third row says, "Cranberry kiwi, sir?" Fuck yes, cranberry kiwi. I said anything. God damn it, I'll shove you in there if I think that's going to move Newtons. I am sick and tired of getting our asses kicked by the Girl Scouts. Those bitches, they have no overhead. There are bitches. You may have been a Girl Scout, but they're cliquey. That's all I'm going to say. They're very cliquey. They don't talk to every girl, and that always bothered me. You had to be in the Scouts, and that I didn't like that. But they make a great cookie. I got to give the devil her due. They make a great cookie. That Samoa. Have you ever had that Samoa? My God. The Samoa. You can't eat just one Samoa. Never. You bargain with yourself. You're like, well, I'll have one row of Samoas. Did I say horizontal? I meant vertical. I'm going to have a vertical row of Samoas because they're so good. I've never been to Samoa. I don't know where Samoa is, but let me tell you something. If that island is anywhere near as delicious as the cookie that bears its name, well, set a course for adventure, your mind on a new romance. I'm heading for Samoa. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Don't worry. They have one cookie, and they knocked it out of the park. It's so great. And you're like, well, they only had one cookie to work on. What's so tough about that? The Chinese couldn't do it. They have one cookie. The fortune cookie. What a piece of shit cookie the fortune cookie is. My God. They give it to you for free at the end of the meal. And they're like, no thanks. I'll take one of these cherries out of the sweet and sour chicken pot. That'll be good. That'll be my dessert. No thanks. It tastes like a manila folder. I've had it before. It's awful. It's awful. Not one of them had a decent brownie recipe? Or rice pudding? You got all that rice. Puddify it, no? And it's not like they're not capable people. They're incredibly capable, the Chinese. They've given us so many great things in the world of arts and science and math and literature and crime prevention. Those handcuffs, I love those handcuffs. They're a big improvement over our handcuffs. Ours are very rigid. They're having fun with their handcuffs. And in the world of fire, their fire drills, the Chinese fire drill, I love it. There's fire, but you're running around the car. There's laughter. That's a great quality to have, to be able to laugh while on fire. That's a special group of people. They were smart, though, with the fortune cookie. I will give them this. Because the reason the fortune cookie is still around, because they're genius with marketing. Putting that fortune in there, that's what makes the fortune cookie. That's why it's still around, the fortune cookie. Because, yeah, you get a lousy cookie, but inside that lousy cookie, hope. Yeah, I just cracked my tooth in this cookie, but I have a winning personality, and that's going to help. That's going to help. Fortune cookie, not the worst cookie. Some people tell me that the worst cookie is the Nilla wafer, and to those people I say, how dare you? How dare you attack the Nilla wafer? The Nilla wafer is so humble. The Nilla wafer, he's a nice cookie. He doesn't even claim to be a cookie. He's like, I'm a Nilla wafer. I'm a Nilla wafer. I don't even claim to be a vanilla wafer. I'm a Nilla wafer. I know I suck. I have suggestions on the side of my box as to how I might taste better. Seriously. Spread some frosting on me. It's delicious. Christ, you put frosting on a pencil, it's edible. Give it a try. No. The worst cookie of all time, the sugar cookie. That is, and some people, no, the sugar cookie is good. What kind of life are you leading? Where you're defending the sugar cookie. The sugar, are you kidding me? The sugar cookie? Proof that the sugar cookie sucks, the cookie cutter. No other cookie needs the cookie cutter. No other cookie needs cosmetic surgery to get you to like it. None, right? You never see a chocolate chip cookie. Hey, look, I'm Elvis. Never, never. Chocolate chip cookie knows who he is. Sugar cookie, every holiday comes back with a new look. Comes back from Christmas like a desperate 8th grade girl, just dying to be loved. Comes back from Christmas. Hey, look, I'm Santa. I'm a tree. I'm a wreath. Do you love me? It's Valentine's Day. I'm Cupid. I'm a heart. Please. It's Easter. I'm an egg. I'm a little chickadee. You're Jewish? Okay. I'm Adam Sandler. Please, give me a chance. Sugar cookie. Sugar cookie. Stop. You're making an ass out of yourself, sugar. Sugar cookie. Look inside. Don't change what's on the outside. That's not what's important. Change what's inside. That's what counts. Look at Oreo. For Halloween, Oreo had orange filling inside. Boo. But you're going to stick with the sugar, huh? Sugar cookie? Well, can I tell you something, sugar cookie? Can I tell you something? Sugar cookie, is it? Yeah, listen up, sugar. Listen, sugar. Every cookie is a sugar cookie. A cookie without sugar is a cracker. You gotta look to the Oreo people, man. That's who the sugar cookie should look up to, because Oreo just was great and then kept getting better. Like Michael Jordan, just when you thought, oh, he's the greatest ever, he just kept getting better. Like the Oreo cookie, we were fine. We were fine with the Oreo cookie. We were like, oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. And then they added double stuff. I will never forget that day that the double stuff came out, October 11th, 1982. I saw the double stuff and I said, whoa, what's the catch? You know what I mean? I was taught if it looks too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And I said, well, what do I owe you? Double the stuff, same price. Well, how do you turn a profit? We don't care about money. We want to make you happy. Oh, well, you've succeeded. Oh, Oreo. Wow. And they didn't stop there. They could have stopped there with double stuff. Then they put peanut butter in the middle. Peanut butter in the middle of an Oreo cookie. My God. That's cocky, though. That's arrogant. That's like they went up to Nutter Butter, put their finger in their chest, and said, we got it. Yeah, we'll take it from here, Nutter Butter. I think we know what we're doing with cookies. Yeah. We're Oreo. Maybe you've heard of us. Oh, yes, you have heard of us. Yeah, we're America's favorite. It's cute how your name rhymes, but we're going to take it from here, Nutter Butter. Then they put chocolate in the middle of an Oreo. Chocolate in the middle of an Oreo. My God. Delicious, but a little scary, isn't it? Because it's almost like, Oreo, have you been reading my diary? You know, it's been a fantasy of mine forever. You made it happen, and I thank you. My favorite thing to put my Oreos in, milk. Here's what I do I take a double stuff and I put two of them together, essentially making it a quadruple stuff, which we'll just have to wait for. But you can do it on your own. And I dunk it right in there. And you know when it's done? When it stops bubbling. Then it's done. And when it stops bubbling, I go, ding, and I take it out and I eat it. Because it's delicious. Oh, milk. It's the only thing I really like milk for. And they advertise milk too much. I'm sick of it enough. All right, we get it. There's milk. What? Why are they advertising milk? Who are they targeting with this campaign? People unaware of milk? People sitting at home, oblivious to this drink, just mesmerized by the commercial, go, oh, yeah. Oh, shit, yeah, that would go good with a cookie. Milk, you say? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Is it milk? It's not a silent K. I just don't want to make a jerk out of myself when I order it later. Or maybe there were people who were all bummed out, really depressed at breakfast. Oh, God, this Rice Krispies is so dry. If only there was some sort of beverage I could pour over it, kind of moisten it up. I tried Dr. Pepper. It was almost too effervescent. The snap crackle was deafening, and the pop, kapow! This is a great job. I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed. I love it. I've had other jobs. I've had a lot of, man. I used to work at Starbucks. And, yes, great coffee at Starbucks. It's a great place to work. My boss, I used to wise off to my boss. Like one time, my boss, he told us we were hanging around at the cash register, and he says, I don't want you guys conjugating around the cash register. Told us he didn't want us conjugating. And I said, oh, yeah? Well, I am, you are, he, she, it is. How's that? How's that? Then I went German. Wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind. How's that? They're like, you're Jewish. How do you know German? Well, if they ever pull that crap again, I'm going to be the first to know. I got the inside track, and I'll warn all the others. And then I got fired, though, because I wised off to a customer. And that was pretty good. Here's the story. This guy came in, and he wasn't pleased with the speed at which I was making his latte. I took my time, but I did it right. I knocked you on your ass with my latte. But this guy, he was really angry. He was like, is it done yet? He gave me one of these. He's like, and I hate that. I'd rather him punch me in the face and go, because at least if somebody hits you, you can hit him back. But you can't punch somebody in the face for doing that. Why'd you punch him in the face? Well, he exhaled very briskly. That's why I punched him. He was adamant about exhaling, and so I whacked him. Finally, he gave up on me, and he asked for his money back. But he didn't say, give me my money back. He said, and I quote, give me my bread back. Give me my bread, man. I want my bread. Give me my bread. I want my bread. Can I have my bread? Your bread, sir? Did you just ask for your bread back? Why the rush, sir? What time are you due back in 1974? What do you got, foreigner tickets? Is that what's going on tonight, sir? You and the old lady checking out the hot-blooded tour? All right. What if I don't give you your bread back? What happens then? You going to call the fuzz on me, sir? Starsky and/or Hutch. What's going to happen then? Why the rush? Seriously, you going to go home and tape Rhoda? Is that what's going on tonight, sir? Oh, that's right. You don't have a VCR. Where you come from, they cost $10,000. That's a lot of bread. Okay, I understand. Here's your bread. Now get out of here, you jive-ass turkey. I worked at a convenience store. I'm not allowed to say the name, of course, but it added up to 18. And my carry the one. My favorite story from there is that one time this guy came in. You know those hot dogs from the front of the store? The ones they've been in the same rotation for the past 7, 11 years, right? And they're like 10 for a dime, basically. It's real quality. Nobody's even looked at them. They're on there. They're sweating. They're not exercising, but they're sweating, absolutely. Anyhow, this guy comes in. He says, yeah, I'll have 2 hot dogs. I'll have 2 hot dogs. Can I have 2 hot dogs? What? Sir, I don't even think those are for sale. I think they're just a conversation piece, and the conversation is, who the hell eats this shit? Well, I think you got to sign a release. I got to call my manager. We got to sign off some paperwork, turn keys at the same time, and we don't even have any buns. We are really not prepared for this at all. That was a fun job. I worked at an elementary school. I was a teacher. That was pretty good being a teacher. Oh, really? You guys are teachers? Wow. A noble profession. I don't know how you do it. That's, wow. They've, Student of the Month bumper sticker, so it's pretty popular now. I actually saw one the other day, though. It said, my son is a good citizen at West Elementary School. Wow. We have really lowered the bar for bumper sticker distribution in this country. My God, you used to have to be an honor student of the month. Now it's like, well, he didn't blow up the school this year, so we gave him a sticker. He's a good citizen. He's not a great citizen. He's a good citizen. We've had better citizens, but what are you going to... I bet you there's not even a ceremony for the good citizen sticker. They're like, all right, Billy, you're the student of the month. Congratulations. The rest of you zeros, grab a good citizen sticker on the way out. Try not to eat him this time, you morons. My elementary school teacher was crazy. I was nice. I never made a big deal out of the scissors. My teacher would go crazy. Remember those art class scissors? She would go banana. No, don't remember the scissors. For the love of God, kids, don't remember the scissors. And do you remember the scissors? They couldn't cut Jell-O. Honestly, I got worse wounds from the brown paper towels. Remember the brown paper towels? You start off with a runny nose, wind up with a bloody nose? Yeah, those are delicate. I'd rather wipe my nose on an oak tree. There's less bark in an oak tree. But the scissors, she was so scared. Don't remember she would hide them in her desk drawer, lock the bottom drawer to protect us from the scissors, which was brilliant, of course, except for the fact that in the back of the room, she would leave that giant paper cutter. Yeah, you could behead a cow with that thing. Oh, that's right, lady. Hide the safety scissors. Leave that portable guillotine out for everyone to play with. Don't run with the scissors. Don't run with the scissors. But climb the ropes. That's fine. That's fine. Were they crazy? Don't run in the hallways. Instead, climb 950 feet straight in the air. Yep, when you get to the top there, you're going to be exhausted. What you want to do then, just slide down so fast there's fire shooting out of your hands. Yeah. Some asbestos will sprinkle from the ceiling. That'll keep you from completely igniting. What's that, honey? You're afraid of falling? Do not worry about falling. We've taken precautions. That's right. We've laid down some thin blue mats. Were those there to break your fall so the cops could draw a chalk outline around your dead body, roll you up, and drag you out of there? And then as a special treat for the boys only, at the bottom of the rope, we're going to tie a big fat knot so that when you land, we will make sure you never have kids in this school. Absolutely. This is the job. This is my favorite job of all time. I get to travel a lot. I get to travel all over, and I'm staying at better hotels lately. I used to stay in some real dumps, and you can always tell a dump by what it says on the marquee outside. Like a pretty popular one is color TVs. Wow, color color TVs, holy crap. I've read about these color TVs. Wow, and you have them in the hotel? In every room? No, get out of here. I thought they were just in the lobby. People would have their picture taken in front of the color TVs. But you're saying in every room there's a color TV. Well, sign me up. Color TV. But now I stay at better hotels, but no matter how good your hotel is, no matter how good it is, where do they get these curtains in a hotel room? They won't close no matter what you do. They close most of the way, they keep out most of the sunlight, then they take that last piece of sunlight and turn it into a high-powered laser beam. Which, no matter what direction you sleep, is always aimed right at your pupils. I don't know how they do it. I'll sleep under the bed. It'll find me underneath there. Like, it's not hard enough to sleep in a hotel room, right? Knowing that they wash that bedspread once never. You know they never wash the bedspread because you never see the maid walking around with a cart piled high with bedspreads. Ugh, it's a disgusting place. Coffee machine, bad coffee, but take the coffee machine, boil the remote control because you don't know where that was. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that they charge $15.99 for those movies. It's disgusting. And you only get 65 minutes. Who can hold out for 65 minutes? I'm done in like 4. Now I've got 61 minutes to feel ashamed and disgusted with myself. You swore you'd stop after your bar mitzvah. Hotel rooms. They always give you junk you don't need in the hotel room. They always give you a shower cap. I've never met anybody who's ever met anybody who uses a shower cap, and they give me a new shower cap every morning. Sewing kit? Oh, thank God. Thank God. Marriott, who told you? Who told you that I forgot my sewing box at home? Is Ramada telling tales out of school again, Marriott? My God, yes, I need the sewing kit because I take all the towels, I monogram them, and then I put my initials on the robe. I do use the sewing kit. I sew up the curtains, and then I get a good night's sleep. I like to get the wake-up call when I'm in the hotel room. I prefer the wake-up call because I hate alarm clocks. It's a bad invention. Beep, beep. No. Because everybody has the same reaction to the alarm clock. No matter how many hours you've slept, 10 hours, 12 hours, 6-month coma, everybody has the same reaction. Beep, fuck. That's a bad invention. And the snooze button aspect, that's a waste. My snooze button gives me 9 minutes. 9 minutes is not a snooze. 90 minutes, that's a snooze. Has anyone ever woken up from the 9 minutes refreshed? Oh, I was exhausted 9 minutes ago, but now, right as rain. Oh my God, I'm glad they only gave me 9, because 10 would have been overkill. I would have been groggy had I had that extra 60 seconds. Oh my God. Ever live with somebody who's addicted to the snooze button? My girlfriend, addicted to the snooze button. She'll start hitting that thing at 4 a.m., stop at 2 p.m. Completely oblivious that there might be somebody else within hearing distance of this racket. Actually come back to me at the end of the day. Honey, I didn't wake you up this morning by hitting the snooze button 65 times, did I? Oh, no, baby, of course not. No, sweetie, snuggle. No. In fact, I wake up every 9 minutes on my own. That's my natural rhythm. That's my rhythm. In fact, I didn't even wake up. A lot of times I'm having a dream in which school buses are backing up every 9 minutes for 7 hours. Here's a good invention. The pill. The pill is a good invention. Just for the fact that everybody here knows exactly which pill I'm talking about. That's impressive. I gave you the and a very vague noun. Everybody's on board. There's not one person here thinking, ibuprofen? No. Everybody knows I'm talking about the birth control pill. And that's impressive. That's impressive. It also tells you where our priorities are as a country, that's the pill. You know what I mean? Because there are a lot of pills, but that's the pill. There's a pill that keeps you from getting polio. That's not the pill. Yeah, take this, it'll save your life. Take this, you don't have to buy condoms. Well, that's the pill. The pill. Sex. I don't know. See, it's good. Some people I've heard say, "Oh, this chocolate is better than sex," and to that I say, well, all chocolate is better than sex. And I know people are doubting me, but it's true. Chocolate is better than sex because I've never turned down a brownie in my life. And to get my girlfriend in the mood for sex, I need to light candles and play music and send my friends home. And you know how I get her in the mood for a brownie? I say, "Hey, you want a brownie?" And she is in the mood instantly. The brownie. And you know what? When I'm done having a brownie, I want a brownie. Whereas when I'm finished having sex, I want a brownie. I was kind of late to the lovemaking game because, I've been this tall since I was like 9. So, but I was like 180 pounds lighter. Let that mental photograph develop for a second. I had the physique of a Pez dispenser, and my parents, it was like they were trying to make me uglier, so they put me in braces with that headgear. Oh my God, the headgear! Oh, they should have called it the "You'll Never Get" headgear. That's what they should have called it. Ugly. Wow. But then I finally met somebody later, and she was very sexy. She had a tattoo, which I love, and I wanted her to like me, so I got a tattoo, and it hurt so much. I don't know if you know this. They use a needle now. When I was a kid, you licked it, you stuck it right on there. Instant tat, the ice cream man tat. Now this guy goes in there with a needle, he makes a little zzz, 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 right? And I was, "Oh, stop that immediately, please. That hurts a lot." The problem was I was going to get something really big. I was going to get the bat signal. Because I love Batman. Sometimes to this day, I'll be in my apartment alone and I'll just look in the mirror and say, "I'm Batman. I'm Batman. Who are you?" "I believe I just told you. I'm Batman." But the bat signal is huge. That would hurt a lot. I mean, this hurt a lot. That hurt a lot. So I talked it over with the guy, and I got something still cool, just small. And you've probably seen these. I got a comma. And, well, it's more of a statement. It means stop. Okay, continue reading. That's what that means. It's tough. You better make sure you really want a tattoo before you get it, because it's permanent. Once the trend is over, you can't get rid of it. You know what I mean? It's a permanent trend. It would be like if in 1984 I said, "You know what, everybody? I'm putting on these leg warmers, and I'm never taking them off. I'm going to get physical and never stop. I'm going to take my passion and make it happen. Shaka Khan, let me rock you." So I'm over this girl's house, and we're kissing. We're making out. We're Frenching. And all of a sudden, she looks into my eyes and she whispers. I love it when a woman whispers. I have a little bit of a sexy way of talking. So sometimes I'll talk through clenched teeth like that. and it's so sexy, it doesn't even matter what I say. I was like, "Baby, when I put into a York peppermint patty." But this girl, she whispered, and I love it. She said, I'll never forget what she said. She said, "I want you. I want you." Isn't that awesome? Yeah. So I'm pretty smooth, so I immediately said, "What?" Because I didn't know what she was talking about. I didn't know that it was code. You know what I mean? I was living with my mom. At the time, I lived at home with my mom till I was like 25 years old. Anytime a woman said, "I want you," it was followed by instructions. You know? I was waiting for her to be like, "I want you to take out the trash." "I want you to get a job." But I was right on the money. I didn't panic or anything. I was so clutch. And she says, "I want you." I looked her right in the eyes. I said, "I'm Batman." I had glasses too. That was a tough thing with getting dates in high school. I never got sex in high school. I think partly because of my glass and partly because I looked like the Scarecrow. But the glass, and even to this day, glasses, it's tough because now I wear contact lenses, and even that can keep you from getting sex. You know, sometimes they get, hey, Gary, you want to spend the night? You got any saline solution? No, just give me some salt and water. I'll make my own, please. I don't want to go home. Listen to this. I saw a baby with eyeglasses today. You never saw, oh. Right? But at the same time, Right? Because how do you know that a baby needs eyeglasses? Like, I asked the mom, I go, oh, how old is he? Oh, he's in love. How old is he? She says 9 months. And I said, oh, that's a great age. That's what I always say. I say, that's a great age. Like, there's a bad age. Oh, he's 6? Ooh, that's when they murder their parents. Please. Keep him away from me. I said, oh, 9 months. He's adorable. 9 months. Oh. But at the same time, How do you know that a 9-month-old needs eyeglasses? How does he let you know? What, is he looking at a pop-up book? I've got a bitch of a headache. My God, Mom. And then how do you determine what prescription to give him? Son, is it better or worse? Better or worse? I have no comparative reasoning skills. I don't know whether it's better. Well, can you read the top line? Read the top. I can't read any line. I'm 9 months old. I shouldn't even be talking. My cousin's having a baby. And much like you people, I could give a shit. You know what I mean? It's a cousin. A cousin in my family. It's not so much family as it is coincidence. You know what I mean? So wow, we have the same grandfather. That's amazing. I'll see you next funeral? Okay, good. That'll be great. I'll see you at the next funeral. No. Man. But I acted interested. I'm very good at being polite. And I said, oh, really? You're having a baby? Do you know what you're going to be having? That's a good question. If you're ever like, I don't know what to say. What are you going to be having? Because some people find out whether it's going to be a boy or a girl. But she says, no, we don't want to know. We want to be surprised. Surprised? Really? Surprised? Am I missing something here? Isn't it always either a boy or a girl every single time? Since the beginning of time, boy or girl? Every single surprise chicken wings. Oh my God. Never. It's not a surprise. It's 50-50. Boy, girl, 50-50. Ever flipped a coin and been shocked? Heads? Heads? Are you shitting me with heads? Would you slip me some voodoo nickel? Heads. I was a baby once. I was really tall when I was a baby. People always ask me how tall I am, and I don't mind. I don't have a chip on my shoulder, right? There's no chip on the shoulder. But if there was a chip, it would be a Pringles sour cream and onion. And I would have eaten it 9 months ago because it's delicious. But I don't mind when people ask me. I'm 6'6", which is fine. And thank you. Yeah. And then, but what I don't like is when people have follow-up questions. They always want to know, how tall are your parents? How tall are your parents? Your parents big? Your parents tall? What are you doing, a project? And the problem is that my parents are not tall. My dad is 5'7", my mom is 5'3", which is weird. And people always say the same thing when they find that out. They always say the same thing. How tall is the milkman? You must hear that all the time. Milkman. Yeah, milkman. That's good. Milkman. Yeah. What year is this? Milkman? Anybody here had dairy delivered in the past 500 years? No, but I appreciate you questioning my mom's fidelity. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for calling my mom a whore. That's a charming icebreaker. Thank you very much. I hear it so much at this point, I just go along with it. I'm like, yeah, she was with the milkman. That's her thing. That slut. What are you going to do? She only dates guys with occupations that no longer exist. That's her thing. Yeah, she dated the milkman for a while. Before that, she was involved with the cobbler for a bit. Then she went out with the chimney sweep, Chim Chim Chiru, the town crier, hear ye, hear ye. She dated the blacksmith for a fortnight, just a fortnight. She even dated the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man? Yes, the Muffin Man. The milkman. It's an extinct profession. Extinct, I tell you. Like the woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoth. I love the woolly mammoth. Sometimes you see it on Discovery Channel. The woolly mammoth. It's great. But we don't need the woolly at this point. We could shorten it. We could just call it the mammoth. Just call it the mammoth. Nobody would be confused. Oh, man, I almost hit a mammoth the other day. And your friend wouldn't say, mammoth? It's a little vague. What type of mammoth? Oh, the woolly. Yes, the woolly. That is a majestic beast. I thought you were talking about the corduroy mammoth, which, of course, died out a long time ago because the hunters could always hear it coming. I love those animal shows. I love them. Woolly mammoth. My favorite animal right now, I think, is the walrus. I love the walrus. Because the walrus has flippers, tusks, mustache. It looks like something God threw together last minute. Like God was up late on the 6th day, exhausted. Oh, this is due tomorrow? Oh, I'm not feeling very creative. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Oh, can I just put together some of my earlier work, do a best of? Is that okay? The God's greatest hits? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put together the seal, the elephant, and Burt Reynolds. Why the mustache? Why the mustache? My 8th grade science teacher, Mr. Ghibli, did you have him? Mr. Ghibli said that a lot of animals, they adapt certain features to fit in with their environment. What environment did the walrus find himself in where he's looking around going, I'm going to need a mustache here. I better get a mustache pronto. What was he, a 70s porn star? Or did he need to buy beer in high school? No, really, I'm 21. Just sell me the beer, please. Guy's like, walrus, fool me once, walrus. Fool me once. I saw a good documentary about prison. Prison's fascinating. If you've never been, prison, wow. Many of the prisoners, they wear their pants, the guys, they wear their pants very low on their hips, and that means something. That means they're spoken for. They have a boyfriend. And I think if I went to prison, even if I was single at first, and it wouldn't last, I wouldn't stay single for long. You know why? Because I'm a good listener, seriously. I would meet somebody, and I wouldn't judge them. You killed your whole family? Hey, who am I to judge? Nobody's perfect. But I'd wear my pants low. My cellmate might razz me. Might be, where's your boyfriend? I never see you with a boyfriend. You wear your pants low. I never see you with a boyfriend. Who's your boyfriend? And I just play it off. I'd be like, oh, yeah, you don't know him. He goes to another prison. And he'd be like, where? Oh, Shawshank. He goes to Shawshank. He's a senior at Shawshank. That's probably why you don't know him. Shawshank's one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. Yeah. Yes. I used to love Wizard of Oz when I was a kid, but then I watched it as an adult, and I got very angry because at the end, Dorothy, she says to the Scarecrow, she says, I'm going to miss you most of all, Scarecrow. I'm going to miss you most of all. Okay, fine, but she says it right in front of Lion and Tin Man. What a bitch. There's a way to treat people, Dorothy. You pull them aside, you say, hey, Scarecrow, between you and me, I'm going to miss you a great deal. I didn't connect with the other two. I don't know what it is. But now the Tin Man has to listen to this. I'd lose my shit. Hey, Dorothy, I'm right here. I'm right here with my new heart, which is now broken. Thanks a lot, you little hick. Humpty Dumpty had quite a fall. And I blame the parents, and I always have, because I don't believe he fell. I don't believe he fell. I think it was a suicide. I think Humpty Jumpty. I really do, and I always have, and I always have. And I'll tell you why I blame the parents, because if your last name is Dumpty, how dare you name your child Humpty? Seth Dumpty, Mark Dumpty, fine. Humpty Dumpty, that kid never had a chance. He's walking around high school with a long black trench coat, Nirvana t-shirt. Finally, he just snapped, went to the top of the wall, and took his own life. And the king sent all the king's horses, all the king's men. King was right on the money, man. The king, I don't know if he was a friend of the Dumpties, but he sent everybody, all the king's horses, all the king's men. And the king's men were probably very helpful. I don't know what the king's horses were going to do, seriously. I would think putting Dumpty back together again would be a pretty precise endeavor. That horses, and the king's men were probably, yeah, horses, thanks for coming, but you really need thumbs for this type of work. But thanks. I think my favorite movie right now of all time is Rocky. I love that movie. But I watch it differently as an adult. When I was a kid, my favorite scene was when he drank the raw eggs. I used to go crazy. Yeah, Rocky, that's how you're going to beat him. You're like Popeye. That's your spinach. And now I watch him drink the raw eggs, and I'm like, ooh, that's not good for you at all. That is, There is a ton of cholesterol in there, Rocky, you know, and not to mention the salmonella. You're probably better with an egg white omelet, to be honest with you. I love sports. I watch a lot of sports. I love football. And I love the cheerleaders. Don't get me wrong. I think they're beautiful. They're talented. They're incredibly athletic. But I don't think they have to do any cheers anymore. Do the dances. Do the gymnastics. The cheers, they're not helping anybody. These guys are mostly in their late 20s, early 30s. I've never seen them acknowledge the cheerleaders after the game. Give them credit. Well, yeah, we were down pretty big in the fourth quarter. We were getting killed. But then the cheerleaders, God bless them, started chanting defense. And that's when it dawned on me. We should have played some defense. And the coach must have heard this because he huddled us right up. He said, fellas, them gals are right. I'm putting in the defense. Also, if there was another thing they said you should be aggressive. They said you should be B-E-A-G-G-R-E-S-S-I-V-E, aggressive. Why did they spell it? Was one player out there confused? B-E-A-G-G? Oh, be aggressive. Okay. I thought you were saying to be egregious. I don't even know what that means. I thought you said be gregarious. I told my opponent I loved his hair. Oh, my God. I thought you said be agrarian. I tried to convert the entire economy to farming despite the global dependence on high-tech and fossil fuels. I guess I'm a little red in the face. I love any sport. I watch figure skating. I think that's a pretty cruel sport, though. Because when the women fall during the routine, they make her finish skating. Probably at a time when she doesn't feel so much like skating. You know, and it's, hey, it's the lowest point in your life. Keep dancing, sweetie. That's great. Yeah. Try another triple salchow. That worked out real well. And then they interview her and they ask the stupidest, most inane questions. Why do you think you fell? Why do I think I fell? That's a good question. I think I might have fallen because it was so darn slippery. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but it was like a sheet of ice out there. They seriously ought to do something about that. Somebody's going to get hurt. They interview the losing boxer, too. This guy just got beaten up in front of his kids. And they put a microphone in front of his face. What? You got knocked down in the third round. What happened there? What happened there? Well, it's still a little hazy. But from what I could tell, that other gentleman was punching me in the face. And what were you thinking? I think I was thinking, stop punching me in the face. My kids are here. Talked about cookies earlier, and you're like, wow, this guy must be very unhealthy. But I also eat some fruit, you know, and grapes, my favorite. I love grapes. I love them. They had some downstairs, and I would bring some up for you because they're so easy to share. I'll just break off some and hand them out to you. And oh man, even the grocery store, they're very generous with their grapes. They really are. Usually they're very anti-shoplifting, but they seem to have a very lax grape theft policy. As long as you don't lie down in the grape aisle and have somebody feed them to you and slave girls fan you, they're okay with you snagging a couple of grapes. So I love grapes, hate grapefruit. Hate it. Isn't that interesting? That they have such similar names. No similar properties. Grape, delicious, a masterpiece. Way to go, God. Grapefruit, vile. Inedible. So bad it should be a vegetable. I hate the grapefruit. The only reason the grapefruit was even invented, the only reason was because God wanted us to have something to compare the size of a tumor to. That's the only reason. But then after softball was invented, they should have discontinued the grapefruit because it's awful. I've had bad experiences with grapefruit. One time I thought I was drinking lemonade. Turns out it was grapefruit juice. My life passed before my eyes. I thought I had been poisoned. Turns out it was just grapefruit juice. Good thing I hadn't just brushed my teeth. I wouldn't even be here talking to you right now. I wouldn't. That combination of toothpaste and citrus fruit, my God, what a lethal combination. My God, oh, Colgate, enough with the tartar. It's under control. What I need you to do now is invent a toothpaste that allows me to drink orange juice within 6 hours of brushing my teeth. Can you do that? Good, make it so. But the thing I hate the most about the grapefruit is that it ruins a fruit salad. And I love a fruit salad, especially when it's served in a watermelon shaped like a bowl with a handle on the top. Oh, my God. But the grapefruit ruins fruit salads. Its evil nectar seeps into all the good fruits and destroys it. Its philosophy seems to be, I'm bitter, now everybody's bitter. And I hate that. It ruins everything. You go in after a peach, grapefruit. Try a pear. Oh, I got to you too, pear. God damn you, grapefruit. Damn you, straight to Hades. There's only one fruit that the grapefruit cannot destroy, won't destroy. The grape. Another reason to love the grape, because the grape had the courage, the guts, the balls, if I may, to say to grapefruit, hey, stay the hell back. I've got a reputation to uphold, okay? I'm the grape. I'm doing very well for myself, and you're not going to screw it up for me, okay? I'm in everything. I'm in jelly, I'm in jam, I'm in juice, I'm in soda, I'm in gum, I'm in wine. Even when I'm dead, I'm a raisin. Yeah, I don't go rotten, I go raisin. How's that? How good is a raisin? A raisin is so good it makes bran palatable. That's how good a raisin is. No other fruit can pull off that feat. Cherry bran? No, thank you. Raisin bran? 2 scoops, please. I love the raisin. And I love grapes. Some people put grapes in Jell-O, and that just ruins a good grape. Don't do that. Jell-O is... How do the Jell-O people even stay in business? Honestly, are there that many people recovering from surgery that they can still sell Jell-O? Honestly, have you ever been craving Jell-O, dying for some Jell-O, had a hankering for a hunk of Jell-O, said to your best friend, you know what I could go for? And they scream, Jell-O? No. Can't even get it at a restaurant. Can only get it at a diner. Late at night, they're like, well, they're probably drunk. Maybe we can push some Jell-O off on them. Jell-O. Oh, my gosh. You can get it at a diner, and they're so proud of their Jell-O at the diner. They put it in that special glass case that rotates ever so slowly so you can see the Jell-O at every angle. So you can watch the Jell-O, call your friends over. Guys, they got Jell-O. Here comes it. Let's watch. Oh, here comes the Jell-O. Oh, Jell-O, yeah. Oh, Jell-O. There goes the Jell-O. But I think it comes. Oh, here it comes around and go. Oh, Jell-O, you're such a tease. Why do you tease me, Jell-O? Why are you such a tease, you hideous bitch goddess? Come back to me, Jell-O. And then they have a door in that thing, and it's locked. It's locked. You or I can't just go up there and grab some Jell-O. The general manager, sir, sit down. The general manager will get you your Jell-O. And then they put the Jell-O in a crystal wine goblet. That's how proud they are of the Jell-O. Jell-O, crystal wine goblet. Meanwhile, carrot cake, the best of all vegetable-based cakes, carrot cake, styrofoam plate, saran wrap top. Carrot cake is awesome, and yet carrots are horrible. Carrots the worst vegetable? No, celery. Celery is the worst vegetable in the world. Celery is, I don't even know how they're still around. I'll tell you why they're still around. And celery should wake up every morning, call Buffalo Wings, and say, thank you. Thank you so much for letting me open for you on the road. I don't know what I'd do if it wasn't for you, Buffalo Wings. You're a good friend. Jell-O, but they put it in a crystal wine goblet. What are we going to toast with Jell-O? Toast on Jell-O's birthday, we're going to toast Jell-O with Jell-O. Here's to Jell-O, everybody. Here's to Jell-O, the nectar of the gods. 12 different colors that all taste the same, Jell-O. And then they cut it into tiny cubes of Jell-O. Thank God, because Jell-O is so hard to chew. We've all lost an elderly loved one to a Jell-O choking incident, of course. Well, I grew up in the 1980s. It was a great time. It was a grand time. And I love the 80s. But I love the 80s. That show on VH1, my God. Because they're so mean. They make fun of everything that I loved from the 80s. They always make fun of Hammer. How dare you make fun of MC Hammer? How dare you? Hammer was huge. Hammer was bigger than anybody. Now, Hammer was bigger than Usher and 50 Cent. He was huge. In fact, there's not a person in this room born between 1965 and 1985 who hears the word stop and doesn't immediately think, a Hammer time. You either think Hammer time or collaborate and listen. That's impressive. That's impressive. Stop, very common word, and you either think of MC Hammer or the Iceman, Vanilla Ice. And they always make fun of Vanilla Ice on VH1, and I'm sick of it. Vanilla Ice was awesome. He was awesome, and all right, he hasn't had a hit in a while, fine. And he hasn't had the acting career of the Ice's Tea and Cube, no. But I'll tell you what he did do. He did put a lot of 8th grade asses on the 8th grade dance floor, also known as the cafeteria, and for that, I say thank you, Vanilla Ice. And I don't make fun of him. I don't make fun of his hair because he had a high top fade back then. A lot of people had. You know who else had a high top fade back then? Gary Gulman had a high top fade back then. And it worked out very well for me. I made out with 6 girls 11th grade. That was a ton back then. And who's happy with their haircut from a long time ago? Nobody. No, but you never go to your barber with your high school yearbook photo. Please make me look like this again. Please. No, seriously, it's easy. Just cut off all the hair in the back except for a long rat tail. Then shave my sideburns right up to my temples. Perfect. Then 2 racing stripes that come together in the back into a lightning bolt with my high school football uniform and the number in the middle. We'll be good to go. And then what drives me crazy is that they say they didn't even like the song. They're like, I didn't even like Ice Ice Baby. I didn't like Ice Ice Baby. What? Liars! Of course you liked Ice Ice Baby. Everybody loved that song. And I contend that they still love that song. I bet you when they're alone in their car, to this day, when they're rolling in their 5.0, with the rag top down so their hair can blow, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they hear... Dun, 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 dun. They turn up the volume and pray it's not Bowie's Under Pressure. I had a great time tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.